Hello and welcome to Chris's Caribbean Delights, and welcome to another episode of Healthy Options. Healthy Options. Our previous videos we used a lot of vegetables, and we sauteed vegetables and put them together with beans and stuff like that. Um, there are lots of combinations. So today I'm going to be focusing on winter squash or butternut squash. Actually, I have a winter squash that I'm going to be steaming along with some other vegetables and prepare a wonderful, healthy option meal for you. So let's go to the ingredients. And first, let me grab my winter squash from the refrigerator. My winter squash, and we'll start preparing this right now. I'll show you the next step. Well, I'll first get my pot, my water heated. I'm using a steamer. It's a double pot steamer. You know, these little steamers that they have. There's so many different ways to steam stuff. So we put the water in here. I'll put maybe about a cup and a half of water and let it heat and let it come to a boil. I just fill it right up to the rim right here, the marking. So that while that's heating up, we're going to prepare our vegetables that we're going to steam. Now, I want steam to be already developed in the pot before I put my vegetables in there. So we're gonna just let that go for a while and let it steam, and whilst I prepare the vegetables. I have some Brussels sprouts here, which I'm going to do, and I have some carrots. Okay, so next step. So there are several ways to get this this green skin off of this this squash. You can use a regular knife and peel it off, but it's usually very hard, and you have to just do it slowly. If you're going to use a knife, you do it slowly until you get it off. But just be careful not to cut yourself. The other option, my trusted vegetable peeler always works. You just take your time again, and you just go in and just peel it off. Takes a little energy, but hey. And you can go over it once or twice just to make sure you have everything off, all the green parts, the green skin. Because you want to just expose the orange part of it. The green part is usually a little hard, and it take a little longer. So now you have nicely peeled piece of butternut squash or winter squash, whatever you want to call it. Run your knife in the belly of it and just take whatever seeds are in there. Just get that out. And now we just have to cut this in maybe 2-inch pieces. And this is going to take probably, because it's a dense piece of vegetable, maybe about 10 minutes um, in the steamer. So I have a few pieces here also. So we're gonna squash is ready to get into the steamer. So here we are with the squash in the steamer. Just cover it and let that go. 10 minutes later, we're going to check it. We're going to check it periodically. And it's done. You know it's done when you can run a fork through it without any problem. Okay? So, but the Brussels sprouts, they'll take a little less. But I'm going to do everything separately because they take different times. The carrot, oh, I still have another piece of squash here. Carrots will take, maybe 8 minutes. The squash is going to take maybe 10, 12. So you don't want them all in there together, and then something gets mushy and some do and some don't. So we're going to be back with I'm going to be back once my squash is done. Okay, and as you notice, I've julienned my carrots. Just cut it in some strips. It's peeled, and I cut it maybe 2 inches, and then I just slit it again. Also, with this meal, I'm going to do some beans. I'm going to just steam some beans with some onions and a little bit of garlic in order just to go with the veggies. Okay, so we have a few things that we have to do still. As I always say, you must think on your feet. So here comes another idea. I just decided that whilst my squash is going, right? 6 minutes into the squash, I tested it with a fork, and it's doing pretty well. So it needs maybe another 5 or 6 minutes. So at this point, I'm going to put my carrots in there because my carrots are just going to take maybe 6 minutes or so. And after the carrots, I'm going to just drop the Brussels sprouts in there maybe for 4 minutes. So we'll get everything out at the same time. How about that? So just keep those thoughts in mind and try them as you go, as if you're going to try this recipe. If not, just do it separately if that's easier for you. So right now, I'm just going to drop my my carrots in. Drop my carrots in. Let them get some space there. Wow. The squash is doing fine. Squash is doing fine. And then give the carrots maybe 3 minutes or so, and then I'm going to drop the sprouts in there. And I'll be back. Yeah, guys, carrots didn't take long. Took about 2 minutes. So now I'm going to drop my sprouts, my Brussels sprouts in there. And the squash is almost done. The squash is almost done. So we just let that go. And we'll get everything out at the same time. Well, I think we all know the benefits of steaming. Steaming locks in all those nutrients in there, into the vegetable. And as regards boiling will strip the water. The boiling water will strip most of the nutrients in there. Frying, we don't want to go there for a healthy option. Too often, I should say. But steaming is the perfect method for making a healthy meal or getting a healthy vegetable done. You can steam sweet potatoes, you can steam potatoes, you can steam anything. You can even steam some rice if you want. Um, and it locks in all the nutrients in there. And the way to do that is you heat your water first. Make sure you have steam going in that pot already before you put your vegetables in. So once that water is in and you put your vegetables in there, cover it, it starts to work right away. It starts to cook right away, and it grabs all those nutrients and secure them in there. So um, that's the method. That's the idea of steaming and the method of steaming. So our Brussels sprouts are about done, and we're going to take those out right now. So here we are, guys. A beautiful plate of steamed vegetables. The steamed pumpkin, or the winter squash, the Brussels sprouts, and the carrots. Um, and it all took maybe all of 12 minutes, so to speak. So um, I hope you try this recipe, and I have some beans to prepare so that I'll put with this, and to make a healthy option meal, a healthy option plate, and I'll be back. So what I did here, I left about 2 tablespoons of water, of the water that was steaming the vegetables. I left about 2 tablespoons of that water in here. Um, I'm going to put here a piece of red pepper, um, little pieces of garlic, some garlic in there, and some green onions. And I'm going to infuse that water and some regular onions. Infuse that water, and also a little bullion seasoning, a little bullion powder. This I will let just go and infuse the water for a little bit. I think I'm also going to put some freshly ground black pepper in there. I love that flavor. So now that's going. Once that's infused, guess what? We'll put our beans in there. I have some here. We'll just put our beans in there. Let that go. And just let that water go through, because the beans are cooked already. So you just need to let that let it steam, and let the flavor in the water, let the flavor in the water take over and seep into those beans. So those beans are going to be ready in about 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll be able to put our plate together. So here we go. Healthy options. Now, I know you've seen something on there. This is a little piece of my rotisserie pork which I had the other day. I made a rotisserie pork in my air fryer, and it's steaming. It's just reheating with the beans in there, and that I just put in there. So I know we're not all vegetarians, and we're going to want some pieces of meat at some point. Whether it be chicken, you can steam your chicken, or you can bake it, roast it. But this rotisserie pork that I did, it's the perfect thing for this option. So I'm reheating a piece of that with my beans, and we'll be back to put our plate together. Bon appetit. So once again, like, share, and subscribe, and please try this recipe, and bon appetit.